With the recent post-credit scene of Echo, Marvel has set up the quote-unquote Thanos of the street-level side for the MCU, with that of Kingpin, which of course a couple videos ago we talked about this, along with the potential ways that they could go, and as well what I specifically would like to see for the route of Kingpin go in the MCU with Spider-Man. But today we got some more news connecting Kingpin to Spider-Man 4, and as well some other news regarding basically Sony and Marvel not being able to come to an agreement on what Spider-Man 4 should be. Not only that, but as well a crazy rumor regarding Kraven's Last Hunt possibly being a major plot point in Spider-Man 4. We're going to be discussing that and all the above in today's video, so stay tuned till the end. You will not want to miss some of these crazy fucking rumors. First, real quick, before we do get into the Spider-Man 4 news, there is a new Spider-Man Funko Pop that got announced that I would like to cover, so we can go over that quickly. So this Funko Pop is kind of cool, I guess. It's based on the Amazing Spider-Man #1 from 2014. So here it is. I think it looks pretty nice, actually. Of course, you know, you got the comic as the background, then you got Spidey himself doing the pose, holding the web, holding his mask. I don't know if I want to get it. There's others I want to cop because I'm trying to finish my villain showcase first. I probably got like 5 more Funko Pops to buy, something like that. A couple of them are cheaper, while others are expensive. Like, holy fuck, dude, why is Green Goblin $300? That's fucking insane. But I'm gonna have to cop that eventually one day for the collection, you feel me? I will say, I've seen a couple of people say this Funko Pop looks like Andrew kinda, and I can see it. I agree. But anyway, yeah, that's that. Moving on to the Spider-Man 4 news. So last time we talked about Spider-Man 4, which was like a week ago, we talked about again the post-credit scene of Echo involving Wilson Fisk sets up Kingpin to be a huge threat for street-level heroes of the MCU moving forward. And I gave my thoughts on how I kind of hope they do it, and especially as far as, you know, like Spider-Man and Kingship, that relationship goes in that video. But today we actually have some more news regarding Kingpin and Spider-Man. This is coming from Daniel RPK, a lot of Daniel RPK scoops lately. The following are rumors, so with that being said, anything not confirmed by Sony, Marvel, or an executive at Sony or Marvel are to be taken with a grain of salt. But Daniel RPK said that Vincent D'Onofrio has had talks about being in Spider-Man 4.
Yes!
So this is of course awesome. This is what everyone pretty much wants. Kingpin, Daredevil, Scorpion, a grounded story, or just a more self-contained Peter Parker story for Spider-Man 4. We kind of had enough of the crazy multiverse stuff, even though No Way Home was the only multiverse film we have had for Spider-Man in live action. We still do have the Spider-Verse movies going on and stuff like that, but most of the fan base just wants to see Spider-Man 4 be a grounded film, nothing too crazy. Plus, it's better to do it this way so that you can build up to the more comic booky stuff like Venom in the MCU later on for the symbiote arc, because remember, the symbiote is still currently lurking around in the MCU. More on that later. We're gonna talk about that in a bit. So yeah, I mean, overall great news that Vincent D'Onofrio has had talks about being in this movie. He's teased it before. He said he does want to fight Spider-Man, so you know, hopefully they're making this happen.
Okay.
Now on to some bad news for Spider-Man 4, and honestly we had reports about this previously, but not exactly to this magnitude. It was very similar but different. Basically, Marvel and Sony are having a catfight about Spider-Man 4. Kevin Feige and Tom Holland, they want to make Spider-Man 4 a grounded story. They're listening to the fans. While on the other hand, dumbass Sony, as per usual, wants to make the most money possible, so they want to bring back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4.
What?
Now, of course, we have to blame No Way Home for this.
Not for real.
Now, don't get me wrong, the movie was cool and all, but that shit generated so much hype and money. Sony is just fucking greedy and stupid, and like now they want to remake that amount of money and hype.
Greedy ass motherfucker.
It just sucks because like in a perfect world, especially after the success of No Way Home, and I've said this before, Andrew Garfield would be Sony's Spider-Man in the Venomverse. They could have just said TASM Universe and Venomverse are one and the same. Tom Holland stays as MCU Spider-Man and the universes stay separate unless they do a crossover for Beyond the Spider-Verse, or like when Secret Wars comes along, they merge. Honestly, in my eyes, Tom is literally basically 616 Spider-Man while Andrew is Ultimate Spider-Man. That would be cool, but I also also do kind of look at it as that, but honestly, all around, terrible idea, Sony. Let Kevin Feige and Tom do their thing. Let them cook. I will say, I mean, if the Toby rumor is true about him having a lead role in Secret Wars, that film is gonna make even more money just off of that fact alone. I mean, like, it's Secret Wars, so it's gonna make a shit ton of money either way, but it's gonna make even more if Toby's Spider-Man is a lead role. And plus, if you really want, why not just make a live-action Spider-Verse movie? Even though, I mean, we might want that, but not right now, because there's projects we much more rather want right now than that, I feel. Like Raimi's Spider-Man 4, TASM 3, I promise Sony, if y'all greenlit these projects and just let the creative people do what they gotta do or whatever, and you don't fuck with the script or any of that, these two movies would kill the fucking box office. As long as they were good and you didn't fucking meddle in whatever the creative people are doing. But sadly, Sony is too incompetent to do that for whatever reason. I will say, on the contrast to this, there have been other rumors of Toby and Andrew not being in Spider-Man 4, but instead beyond the Spider-Verse, which I guess could make sense after Across the Spider-Verse. There were references in Across the Spider-Verse, but whether or not they would actually show up and do new lines and stuff for the movie, or if it's just like references like Across the Spider-Verse, is unknown. Now here's where we kind of get into some more Spider-Man 4 specific news, and not gonna lie, one of my members I think was right. We were talking about this in my comment section at some point. I think it was Ravenous Puncher, so if and when you see this, you may have been right, and I still don't know how to feel about it. Man, this shit crazy. But about 3 to 4 months ago, we got rumors of the Sony Marvel films will be connected to Spider-Man 4, that being the Venomverse, which includes, of course, Venom, sadly Morbius, Madam Web, even though I think that movie is a standalone movie, but I don't know, who knows. Madam Web, she's probably going to be a part of the universe as well, but she's going to be able to like just go to any universe at any time. That's usually her thing, and as well Kraven the Hunter. So yeah, that rumor was from Daniel RPK, where again he said basically Spider-Man 4 will have connections to the Sony Marvel films. I gave my thoughts on this and said, hell no, absolutely not. Think of another plan, Sony, because those films are all ass, the ones that they've released so far anyway. So methinks terrible idea. Scrap that. However, Ravenous Puncher did suggest in the comments maybe they're gonna merge the universes into one, or like merge the SSU into the MCU to have Tom Holland Spider-Man fight all these villains, something along the lines. With that being said, this rumor actually has essentially resurfaced as well. There's one more part of this SSU rumor that's key to why this might actually be true though. 3 to 4 months ago, right around the same time as the rumor we just went over, this came from Daniel RPK. He said that Michael Keaton will be back as Vulture for Spider-Man 4. Okay. But since then, we've been all wondering how, because he's literally in the Venomverse, because he was in the Morbius post-credit scene or whatever. He got transferred from the MCU to the Venomverse. True. So now essentially the resurfaced rumor is that basically Sony wants to bring all the villains from the SSU into the MCU and have Tom Holland Spider-Man fight them. And the running theory is that Kingpin will hire these guys as illegal mercenaries, kind of on the level of like Thunderbolts, for example, to go out and kill or capture Spider-Man, because by then he will probably be mayor and make a law to outrule vigilantes in New York and etc. Now here are the magnitude of problems with that idea. Number 1, none of these villains have any ties to Spider-Man except for Vulture. Number 2, these movies fucking suck. These iterations of these characters suck because they were by themselves and barely given any actual thought into their character and or plot of their movies. Number 3, how are they going to get in the MCU? I mean, yeah, like we're in the time of the multiverse, but like who's gonna get them there? Madam Web maybe? If anything, I feel like she would want to keep them where they are probably. Maybe Kingpin if he has the technology, but that have to be explained for sure. Number 4, these villains have no reason to want to fight Spider-Man, again, other than Vulture. I mean, you kinda spit. Now on the other hand, I will say there's another rumor. I believe this comes from Den of Nerds over on YouTube, if you know him. I heard about this rumor on Twitter somewhere and did some digging, and it's coming from him. He's saying that Kevin Feige really wants Kraven to be in Spider-Man 4. Now that's not the main thing. We're gonna get to the main thing in a second, but this would not be a terrible idea. This could actually be a great idea because Kingpin could hire Kraven, but also as well, Kraven isn't always the type to do it for money. I mean, it really just depends on how the character is written ultimately, but Kevin Feige has wanted to do Spider-Man and Kraven forever. I think there was a rumor back when Far From Home was coming out that he was originally supposed to be the villain of Far From Home, but they had changed it like last minute or whatever. And it's funny because Chameleon is in that movie. This guy, he doesn't turn into him, but he's in the movie. And if you don't know, Kraven and Chameleon are brothers. They're related, so I guess that had to kind of satisfy Kevin's Kraven need for that film. And even then, in No Way Home, we actually saw Kraven, but it was like a silhouette when Doctor Strange casted the spell at the end of the film. He was like in that crack in the sky or whatever. So that's all just background context or whatever. Now here's the main rumor. The rumor from Den of Nerds is he heard, apparently, take this with the biggest grain of salt possible, because I don't know, I mean, in concept, on paper, this would be cool, but one, it's too soon in my opinion for one aspect of it, and two, there's a plot hole involved that would happen after the movie, but not even just with this rumor specifically, more with the symbiote, which we're gonna get to that. And honestly, the third thing is that Sony is allergic to good writing like this. But anyway, apparently Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is supposed to die in Spider-Man 4. Funeral, everything, buried underground. But this is when plot twist happens. Remember that symbiote in the post-credit scene of No Way Home that Venom left in the MCU on his way back to the SSU? Yeah, that fucking thing is gonna seep through the grass and dirt and save Spider-Man, and they're gonna recreate the infamous comic book cover of Kraven's Last Hunt. Apparently, this will be near the end of the film, so I mean, like, it kind of makes sense for it to be at the end of the film as well though, but yeah, so it'll be like the ending movie tease for what's to come next. Now again, honestly, in my opinion, this idea is really good on paper, but that being said, if they do this route, they're gonna have to sacrifice the comic book origin of Spider-Man getting the symbiote during Secret Wars to just already have him have it before Secret Wars in Spider-Man 4 if they go this route, you know? Not gonna lie though, holy fuck, this would be fire. I'm conflicted, man. One side of me wants to see that comic book moment in live action where he gets the suit in Secret Wars, but then this is also another dope ass comic book moment and cover where Spider-Man emerges from the grave with the symbiote suit. I mean, honestly, not gonna lie, I'm leaning towards the Kraven's Last Hunt adaptation idea. Not gonna lie, that shit would be so fucking heat to see in live action. So now I'm assuming based off what we know, Spider-Man 4 will be Daredevil, Spider-Man team up, try to take Kingpin down. Whether or not they do, who knows, but Kingpin will hire people to take down Spider-Man, one of them being Kraven maybe. He'll be like the last person or something, I don't know. End up killing Spider-Man, and that symbiote will know about it, I guess. And actually, you know what, actually, here's the crazy thing about the symbiote too. The Venom Let There Be Carnage post-credit scene, I think it was, right, where Venom was in the hotel and then like the world changed or whatever because like he went to the MCU or whatever, right? The symbiote was giving Eddie knowledge the symbiote knows about or has gained over the years, right? That piece of symbiote knows about Spider-Man. It has to, because of like the symbiote hive mind or whatever. So I wonder if it's gonna go to Spider-Man because it knows its destiny, or if it's gonna go to it because it's destiny paired with hopefully we can make it work with this Spider-Man or whatever, if that makes sense. Like if this symbiote can make it work with this Spider-Man. If they do go down this Kraven Last Hunt route, I think the symbiote shouldn't start affecting him until Spider-Man 5, as far as like the emotional aggressive effects.
Wait, what?
Because right, this will be a weird plot hole thing. Let me explain. Okay, right, let's say Tom does get the symbiote at the end of Spider-Man 4. Kang Dynasty happens, he's a lead role in that film, apparently. Who knows if Toby or Andrew are in that film. But for the sake of this like concern, we're gonna say Andrew and Toby aren't in the film and Tom Holland Spider-Man is confirmed lead role for Kang Dynasty. Kang Dynasty happens. Now Secret Wars comes around. Tom, he doesn't get the iconic scene of him getting it during battle in Secret Wars. That's not the plot hole, that's just more like comic book fan service / like fan preference or whatever. Not only that though, another possible issue or like the plot hole that will arise at some point, unless they find a way to like work around it, kind of. The plot hole that I'm concerned about is Tobey Maguire. We all know Tobey Maguire has had the symbiote before. His Spider-Man fought Venom before. So like, is Toby gonna see Tom has a new suit and be like, oh, nice suit or whatever, and move on? Or is he gonna realize, holy shit, he got the symbiote suit, the thing that almost killed me, my girlfriend MJ, the thing that also killed my best friend Harry, the thing that ruined my life for a good period of time, the thing that made me kill Sandman even though he didn't die, but I thought I killed him, because even in No Way Home he mentioned he fought an alien made of black goo. So like, I don't know, like I feel like that'll be like a plot hole to keep in mind regarding Tom's Spider-Man getting the symbiote before Secret Wars. But even then, if he gets it during Secret Wars, it could also be a problem as well as far as Toby goes and stuff. So I wonder like how they're gonna go about that, unless magically somehow they just never end up interacting throughout Secret Wars. But I mean, I highly doubt that's gonna happen, but also who really knows? I feel like the only way this could work with like Toby is if they have Toby acknowledge Tom has the symbiote suit and is like, yeah, that black goo alien I told you I fought, you're wearing it. Not the exact one, but that's definitely a variant of it or some shit, something along the lines. And maybe by now Tom's like, nah, I'm all good, I'm the best Spider-Man with this suit, and Toby's just like, hey man, I warned you, or some shit like that. And this video is getting long. One more theory, and then we're gonna end the video. I do actually have, which I could be fire as fuck if they do it good though. So like, if Chameleon was in Spider-Man 4 at some point impersonating Spider-Man or Kraven, I think that could be cool if we had at some point a similar moment slash storyline to when Joker and Clayface teamed up in whatever Batman game that was. I forgot what game it is. Oh, never mind, I got it. Batman Arkham City, there we go. Yeah, that would be fire if they did something similar to that magnitude. And it would make sense because Kraven and Chameleon are brothers, so of course they're gonna work together. It just really depends how they would write that into the movie though and stuff, especially because we kind of seen this before with Spectacular Spider-Man. I always thought that episode was cool with Chameleon impersonating Spider-Man, then Spider-Man gets the symbiote and he was like, bro, you don't even got the costume right. That was always like my favorite part of that episode. And then like, if that were to happen, like it'd be cool because like if Daredevil is involved and like, you know, he'd be like first time kid, because I think that happened with Bullseye and Netflix Daredevil, which if y'all didn't know is actually now canon to the MCU, so that's cool. But yeah, I don't know, those are the latest Spider-Man 4 rumors and my thoughts and theories on them. I'm very against the Sony villains coming to the MCU for Tom to fight them, but I'll have that Kraven Spider-Man 4 idea and sacrifice of not getting the symbiote Secret Wars moment, as long as they recreate the comic book cover stance in the movie at some point when he first gets it. This stance, they better recreate that shit at least to like reference it and like pay respect to it type shit, you know what I mean? But what do you think? Do you think Kraven's last hunt would be cool to adapt and have Pete die at the end of the film to be buried then saved by the symbiote, and us get that iconic stance of him in the black suit, then black screen post credits? Or do you not want to see that and think, save the symbiote for Secret Wars or Spider-Man 5? With that being said, I want to hear your opinions, so make sure to comment down below so I can interact with you in the comments. Thank you for taking time out of your day to click on this video. If you're new to the channel, I try my best to cover confirmations, rumors, leaks regarding Spider-Man media, and whatever else I'm interested in. So if that's what you're interested in, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 5K. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and to check out my last upload at the top left. Hope you have had a good day and enjoyed the video. Until next time.